Someone finally did the dang thing. The New York Mets, Mr. Steve Cohen, Mr. Uncle Steve, he traded for Francisco Lindor. He did it. He did the thing. Um, I'm still in shock. I'm still kind of processing everything. I was driving down from Phoenix when it happened, so I didn't find out about the trade till I came home, and I was just kind of like, whoa, because I was an hour late to everything, and I just had so much to unfold. But, so the New York Mets, Mr. Steve Cohen, Mr. Uncle Steve, he traded for Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco for Ahmed Rosario, Andres Jimenez, Josh Wolf, and Isaiah Green. Now, obviously, the winners of this is the New York Mets. This instantly propels them to like the top of the NL East. It's going to be them and the Braves duking it out, and the Nationals are just kind of going to be there, just kind of toying with both of them. But yeah, this lineup's kind of insane now. I mean, you have Francisco Lindor. Let me talk about Francisco Lindor, the individual, first, obviously, or like players individually. So Francisco Lindor, obviously, best shortstop in baseball. This dude's the best personality, one of the best personalities in baseball. Like such a good smile, man. He's such a good personality for baseball, and putting him alongside Pete Alonso and like Marcus Stroman is just like, I want the Mets to be mic'd up, like very, very, very bad. Yeah, but then shifting to the lineup too, it's just you put him alongside Jeff McNeil, Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil, Michael Conforto, and you guys are still the front runners for George Springer. And it just came out that he wanted a $175 million deal. Steve Cohen's just like, that's it? Oh gosh. If this team gets George Springer, they're very scary. They're very, very, very scary. And Carlos Carrasco, he came back in 2020 from leukemia. Obviously, that's amazing. And he was really good in 2020. Take it with a grain of salt because it's really weird out here. But he looked really good. And he's on a very team-friendly contract, too. And you slot him alongside the best pitcher in baseball, Jacob deGrom. Noah Syndergaard, Marcus Stroman, and then David Peterson. It's like that's a very formidable rotation. Obviously, the big asterisk is going to be health, but when healthy, that is easily a top 10 rotation in baseball, top 5 even. Now, obviously, this puts on the table re-signing Lindor. So, what's that contract going to look like? Do you ever want him to think about free agency in his life ever again? The Steve Cohen drop the bag. What does that look like? But that needs to get done immediately now that you guys have him. It's very much like the Mookie Betts trade where I feel like you guys just need to re-sign this guy ASAP. Now that he's in the place where he can get signed to these deals. And it's funny because like Steve Cohen a week ago, he was like, "Oh, give credit to the Padres. They have their farm system so they can do this trade." And like the Mets don't have the Padres farm system, but they did it. They did the dang thing. They did it. Man, Steve Cohen's great. He's so good for baseball, man. I love him. All right. Obviously, this sucks for Cleveland. It's just a big yike. It feels bad, man. Bad ownership. You know, it's been there. Nothing's going to change unless the owner changes. This signals another imminent rebuild. It's no longer retooling the roster. I wouldn't even say retooling. After 2016, they really didn't do anything to improve the team, and I felt like they had all the pieces there. They were one game away from winning it all. But obviously, this signals an imminent rebuild. You're going to have Shane Bieber rumors now, Jose Ramirez. I'm not going to be surprised if GMs are calling them right now. And then, like, the part I'm most confused about, I think, out of everything is trading Carlos Carrasco. Because he's on a very team-friendly deal. And if you're going into a rebuild, you kind of just want longevity so you can, trade him at his highest peak. And I don't believe he was at his highest peak coming back from 2020. Obviously, he was good, but I feel like he can capitalize on that. But they didn't do that, and I'm very confused about that. It's definitely about money. I'll keep it a buck. I really haven't looked into contracts that deep into this yet. This is just kind of the instant off the dome reaction. But yeah, very weird giving up Carlos Carrasco. Does not make sense to me at all. But it is also Cleveland, and they'll just pull up another pitcher or something. I don't know if it has anything to do with Zach Plesac. I hope not. I hope everything's obviously like mended over. I don't know if that's just kind of the first thing that came to my mind, honestly. I guess I should just talk about Ahmed Rosario and just all the other pieces too. So Ahmed Rosario, he had his best year in 2019. He's a pretty good hitter. Steals bags. He had a pretty down year last year in terms of fielding. He's working on it. He got better as the season continued. But he's 24. He's been in the league for a bit, so he kind of already knows what's up. I'm just kind of, he's going to be a quality player. He's going to be a very quality player for you guys. The next piece of the trade is Andres Jimenez. I know recently he changed his swing, so it's more power, less average. And it kind of showed in his 2020 numbers. And that was also his rookie year. So take that with a grain of salt, like the smallest one, because like 2 and 2, very small sample size. But he's a good defender. He's a very good defender, very quality, and you're looking to just put him in your infield, and he'll probably end up being there for a long time. Same thing. You got two quality players, which is okay, but also you did give up Francisco Lindor because he is the best shortstop in baseball. And so the next piece is of the trade. So it's Josh Wolf. He's a pitcher. He was drafted in the 3rd round. I believe he had like the highest signing bonus before Cole Wilcox this year. And this dude strikes people out. He strikes people out. He has decent control. And the thing is, Cleveland is a pitching factory. So what they like to do is just turn every single one of their pitchers into like very quality pitchers. They've just done it over the years. It's going to be nothing different for them. I don't know his ceiling. I don't know when he comes up. But look for him to be a quality piece. So the last piece is Isaiah Green. He was drafted this year. I don't know a lot about him. I know he's a lefty outfielder, and his scouting report's pretty balanced. He hasn't played anything, so it's just you haven't really seen him play, and I'm optimistic. Obviously, I just want him to turn out to be really good. But just overall, like, this trade's yucky. It's very yucky. Like, it's just bad ownership, and I said it earlier, but if ownership doesn't change, nothing's going to change. And it's just, I feel so bad for Cleveland baseball team because they've lost 2 people that were brought up within the system. Like, these people were homegrown, and they've become like icons of Cleveland, and they kind of, like, it was imminent. It shouldn't have been imminent. You guys should have locked these people up. And I don't know. I just get frustrated. Cheap ownership, that's just kind of, they're not the only team doing it too. That's the problem. But it's another video. But I don't know, man. Just kind of feels bad for Cleveland. I know every Mets fan had their soul leave their body today. But good for Francisco Lindor, and good for Uncle Steve. This is really the first movie we've seen from him too. It's like, if you want to count James McCann, I will count James McCann, I guess, really. But this is the first real big move. Like, we knew he was the richest owner in the MLB, and he's really kind of just putting it down on the table right now. But good for him. I mean, good for Mets fans. That's what I got.